Hello everybody, my name is Alan, I'm from Sauber-Lab and today will be another video about Synology NAS. And before we start this video, I'm gonna ask, you think that DSM, that's it's the Synology NAS OS, it's safe? So in this video we're gonna explain a little bit more about it, and that I will put the positive side and the negative side in this way when you want to deploy this system for yourself or for your house or for your company. At least you understand what's the both sides for it and you do the best choice, or at least you understand what's the limitation for it. So if you like this idea and want to learn a little bit more about it, we're gonna show you this video. But first of all, don't forget to leave your like, consider subscribe for the channel, and let's understand a little bit more about it. After post few videos about Synology NAS, I decided to explain a little bit if this system is saved. Because until now I explained how you can install the system, or how you can have an old computer or any computer and try to install DSM to run it, at least to try. I don't advise to use indefinitely because you don't have the hardware and you don't have all the protection that the hardware for Synology NAS can provide for you. But anyway, I explain lots of things, lots of installations, and I will explain more things in the future. And then before I continue to do anything, I want to explain if this system is safe and if you should use it or not. Let's get a supposition. Nowadays, because of everyone have their own phones, have their own laptops, it's more and more important to have a centralized data in only one place. This because if I want to have all my data in one place, or at least everyone wants to share that information using Drive, using Photos, using other applications. If you have in your own house, you can do it easily. You can have your wife's laptop connect for the Synology, you have your laptop connect for the same system, you have your kids, your mom, your father, and continue on, everything connect to the same system. In this way, all the data is there. And if your laptop stops to work, or at least you lose it, all your data continue there. And this is a good thing for a NAS, not only for your home, but as well for your company. Instead of you have people transfer information through a USB stick, or at least send everything for email, you can save everything in the same location. And once that you do this environmental, you want it to be safe, because no one wants to lose all your data for any reason. They don't want to have a hack attack, a ransomware, or anything and lose all this data. And this reason that it's really important you choose a safe system. And let's say that Synology NAS work the same idea as Apple. Why Apple? Because everyone know Apple. Apple do the hardware and Apple do the software. Synology do exactly the same. They do their own hardware and do their own software. Most of the others NAS, what they're gonna do, they use the operating system as a Linux as a base, and that's make one extra layer of protection, one extra layer of application, and that is still with that base. Let's not complicate. Synology do exactly the same, but they focus more for the software. They want to test that software that really work, and if they find any problem, they patch it. Why I say it? Because Synology offer money for people that cover vulnerability or issues with the system. If you look here, they have a security bug bounty program. What it means that if you try to hack the Synology NAS and if you find some vulnerability or some issues on it, you can report it back for Synology, and Synology will pay money for it, and they will patch it for the next revision as soon as possible. And this one is really good because show how much focus they are. Also, the policy that they have is security our first priority. What it means? It means that if they discover any issue related from 0 day, they will try to patch it in 8 hours or investigate it in 8 hours, try to fix the vulnerability, and up to 24 hours they will finish it. Of course, they will not be able to do all the case because some case a little bit more complicated, but they will have the target to get in 24 hours, and after this one they will post for everyone to know what they did and what it's fixing that patch. But let's say this it's a good thing, but Synology NAS have a low learn curvature. What it means, if you go to OpenMediaVault or to NAS, you have a lot of things that you can do. You can modify different applications, you can open different ports, you can do everything that you want, and it's really easy, it's only a click. And sometimes if you install something, they right there and come as enable. Synology NAS is a little bit different for it. Everything that you're gonna do, you need to enable yourself. Everything that you want to modify, you need to go for the specific place, and lots of times they will have a lot of warning signs. I'll give you one example. If you already use Synology NAS, you go to SSH, try to access PuTTY. First thing, they don't come standard open. This port 22, they come close, and that you need to enable it. When you go to enable, have a big warning say, don't enable it if you don't know what you're doing. And anyway, if you enable it, they will give another warning say, you are sure that you want to enable. And once that you click yes, then you can access it. But if you run the security advice from Synology, they will say your port 22 is open, please close it. You shouldn't have access for SSH unless you want to do something. Why is this? Because if you have this port open and someone know your user or any information from you, they can try to access it, and once that they access using brute force or anything, they can have access for your system and can modify anything that they want, because basically they can have the master system in this way. This Synology restrict a lot of things and try to make complicated exactly for you don't make anything wrong. You don't try to mess up your system. Different for TrueNAS, different for OpenMediaVault, different for other systems. It's more block. It's more annoying as well to change something, but at least it's more safe. Other thing that's really good for Synology, as a standard, Synology offer the Quick Connect. What it means? It means that you can access the Quick Connect, you can access your Synology anywhere that you want without need any configuration. How it's work? Basically the same way that Cloudflare offer. Cloudflare offer a directly tuner for the Cloudflare system, and that's you can use your own domain to access that specific port. The same thing that will happen with Quick Connect. You can have all your application connect to the Quick Connect, and that with this one you can access anywhere that you want. So it's really easy, no configuration, no port forwarding, nothing. It's only you put your Quick Connect name, and that after this one you can just access it, and it's really simple. But of course, not everything is great, not everything is perfect. Why I'm saying it? Because if you use Quick Connect, all your data need to go out for your home, need to go for Synology servers as a proxy, all the data encrypted, and after this one they will send for your final user, and this one will create extra latency. Also, they have a limitation of bandwidth that Synology can transmit. If we have lots of users in the same time, they will not have the maximum speed. It means that your speeds or your download and upload time will be a little bit higher compared if you use a proxy manager or any other application. It's not so much, principally if you're using Word, Excel, some light pictures, but if you start to upload a lot of information or download a lot of information, these 1-2 seconds extra will add up. If you go to do a Word that you have 1-2 megabytes, not a problem. But if you're gonna upload a video with 25 gigabytes, 30 gigabytes, this one will make much more difference for you, and that you need to consider extra configuration. But if you don't know what you're gonna configure, it's better you don't configure, because if you start to open all the ports that you think that's important, let's say you open port 8 and port 443 to have HTTP and HTTPL protocol, and that you open port 22 and that you open port 21 and open different ports, this one will create more risk, because if that specific port is not in use, you can have a risk that you're gonna have problems, and this one it's better to avoid. Only to focus a little bit more, Synology focus a lot in software, and this one is a good thing for Synology because they try to avoid all the zero-day vulnerability. It means that software related, everything that you can block, they will try to block. They will try to come with lack of automation, lack of customization, lack of more information. This reason that Synology make it safe your system, because if you don't need to have that specific port open, you don't need to have that user to access that specific application, they will come as a standard off. And that unless you allowed it, unless you configure it for that user or that application have access for that specific thing, they will not have access. And this, it's a really good job for Synology. If you don't know what you're doing, please don't do what you don't know. Different from other systems that if you don't know what you're doing, you will still be able to enable something that you shouldn't enable. Or sometimes when you enable something, think that is no risk, they will not advise you. For Synology NAS, they will say, you're sure that you want to do it? You can have problem in your system. So what I told, Synology try to focus with zero-day vulnerability. Also, they try to focus with user lack of knowledge or user lack of observation. What it means? User needed to know where to go, and user needed to do exactly to have access to that information. So a lot of times when you enable some application, sometimes don't work unless you go for a specific place that you need to understand or need to know what you're looking for to find it. So it's not so directly as others application, but this is a good thing. So what I was talking, you have two ways that a NAS can be hacked. One of those is a zero-day vulnerability, what it's something that already comes with the system, some ports that was not properly closed or some way to hack it, and that the hackers will try to access it. This reason that they want to patch up everything, this reason that they want to pay money for the people to discover it, and this reason they have a really fast policy. And this is the difference for others operating system. They just make it fast to avoid any issue. But of course, always have a risk for the user. Why I say risk of the user? Always have a risk that that user go there, click in that specific email that he didn't know or didn't read. That email will install some application in the computer, and that the application will try to access your NAS or will try to access your information in order to encrypt it, to make a ransomware, or at least to copy the information or to compromise it in the way that you lose your data. So always have this option for the user, but Synology NAS try to avoid maximum that they can for don't happen. As a standard, Synology come with really block system with allows you to have external access without any extra configuration. Just put your quick connect name and this work with a lots of features that is enabled, but at least a lot of features or lots of program softwares that has been tested, retested, validate. This reason that you don't have thousands of programs in this Synology, but you can install Docker, and with Docker you have thousands of applications, but as a standard for Synology you have a lack of it. So this reason the system is really secure, and this reason I like to use Synology NAS because of all this ability. So in this way we finish this video. If you guys like this video and think that was interesting, please don't forget to leave your like, consider subscribe for the channel if you're not subscribed yet, and see you next time. Bye.